My wife dropped a bombshell. I'm 25, married, and I am a dad. When I first started dating my now wife, our intimate life was amazing. It was dirty and crazy, anywhere and at any time. But as the relationship progressed, the lovemaking became stale and my wife's intimate drive seemed to drop to almost non-existent. The lovemaking now, for lack of better words, is boring and stale. There's no real passion to it, no romance, and it just feels so mechanical. If she isn't in the mood, there is no chance I can sway her. No candlelit home-cooked dinners, rom-coms and massages can change her mind. But if she's in the mood, it's then and now. It doesn't matter if I'm in the middle of something. She knows I'll drop what I'm doing, but even then, it's right to it. No before action, no hands, no mouths, no romance, no passion. It's always just a quickie. Once all is said and done and she's happy and satisfied, I can usually expect nothing for the next 3 or 4 days or even weeks. It is a complete shift from how things used to be. I never really knew why things changed. That was until last night. We had a party, and after everyone left she decided she wanted to play 21 questions. It started off innocent enough, but she'd had a few drinks, so for one of my questions I tested my luck and decided to ask, why don't we have the kind of love-making we did earlier in our relationship? Her response wasn't what I was expecting. She said, I never had a high intimate drive. I've never been crazy or dirty. I just did whatever you wanted at the start because I wanted you and didn't want you deciding it wasn't going to work out between us. When I knew you weren't going anywhere, I didn't really have to keep it up. So I said, so all of it was just a ploy to have me? That's when she said, well, your best friend wanted you to. She never told you, but I knew she was going to soon. If she did, I knew you'd be with her. It wasn't much of a competition. She was better looking. You knew her for over 10 years, so you were already very close. And we both know she had a high intimate drive too. You were both love-making addicts. You'd have chosen her in an instant. I didn't have much of a chance, but I wanted you. So I made a move before she did, gave you exactly what you wanted, and when she wasn't in the picture anymore I didn't have to worry. So I said, so you knew the whole time? She shrugged and said, yeah, she told me she wanted to pull you aside and tell you how she felt about you when she felt the time was right, so I got to you first. But what does it matter now? It's all in the past. She's in her own relationship, and you two don't even speak anymore anyway. We're married, have a house and a daughter. I've got what I wanted, so I'm happy. I didn't really know how to respond, so I just let it slide and we kept asking each other questions until she finally fell asleep. But it made me think to myself, my wife was right. I'd have chosen my best friend without hesitation. I'd always had feelings for her, I still do, but I was in an emotionally dark place and I didn't want to risk jeopardizing our friendship or making things awkward if she didn't feel the same way about me. If I'd known she felt the same way, things would have been very different. Now it all made sense to me, why my friend of now 15 years had suddenly become so distant, why she disliked my wife so much, and why we rarely ever see each other. As for my wife, she's right, it's been 8 years, we're married, have a house, have a kid, my best friend has moved on, she's got her own life, and although I've always had feelings for her, it's been too long to say she even feels the same way. I'm not the best husband, but I've tried to be. I work hard, make sure all my family's needs are met before my own, but at some point I decided if my needs weren't being met at all, I'd satisfy them on my own, and as bad as it sounds, I don't feel as bad for cheating on my wife. I know 2 wrongs don't make a right, I'm not trying to justify it. But it does make me wonder what things would have been like. Would I have been happier with my best friend? Or was my wife right? Am I just a love-making addict, and would I have eventually cheated on my best friend too?